This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Carbonite. Coming up on Destructoid, Microsoft is back with another Summer of Arcade. Tara and I want to talk about some Wii U games, and Steel Battalion, more like Steel Battalion, because the game is bad. All that and more right now on Destructoid.
Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
Happy Wednesday, Max.
Happy Wednesday, Tara.
It's not happy.
It's a terrifying
I'm so
day.
scared. Our producer's
It's the worst
gone.
day.
He's sick. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, our producer Zach Miner is out sick today. I blame the gods and the kings, the Civilization 5 expansion pack that he stayed up all night reviewing. Yeah. So go watch his review of Civ 5 Gods and Kings and tweet at Zach Miner, feel better, and then send him some bunnies or kitties or something.
I love it when you ask people to do that for me on Twitter. It's the best. All right, let's hop into the news. So you guys might remember in the second half of Monday's show, we speculated about the big secret announcement that Microsoft had planned to reveal at that weird press conference in LA. Well, literally 1 hour after that episode went up, we found out what the surprise was, and surprise, it's a tablet computer. Nicknamed the Microsoft Surface, this is basically a Windows 8 computer tablet hybrid that weighs less than 1.5 pounds, so it's super light. Also features a USB 2.0 port, HDMI output, front and rear cameras, and a 10.6-inch Gorilla Glass display. Arguably the coolest part, though, is that it comes with a snap-on case, kind of like the smart case for iPad, but it doubles as a multi-touch keyboard. This is freaking awesome. There's no release date or price set for this yet, but according to Microsoft, they're going to be shipping a few different base models at some point this year, ranging from 32 to 128 gig capacity, with the option of running either an ARM processor on Windows RT or an Intel Core processor on Windows 8. So, I said a lot of words just now.
You did.
What does this mean for gaming? So we already know that Microsoft is going to be integrating some kind of Xbox app in their Windows 8 operating system, and although we haven't seen much information on any specific games that are going to be coming to it, we do have a few tidbits that I heard through the grapevine. Specifically, developer Jake Kasdal from 17-Bit confirmed on his Twitter a couple days ago that Skulls of the Shogun would be headed to Surface, though he did not specify if it would be a launch title or not, but hey, there it is. It's also probably safe to assume that you're going to be able to use this in conjunction with Smart Glass, which is the technology that Microsoft announced back at E3 that lets you use your tablet as a supplemental control device for your Xbox games. Kind of like, you know, the big Wii U fuck you thing.
Yes, the big Wii U fuck you. I will say, as far as really kind of unimpressive announcements go, I mean, it's sort of like, what if an iPad had a keyboard on it, everybody, and I guess that's cool, but I will say that it definitely trumps the iPad's name. It is a surfing surface, surf the web with your face on your Surface. I don't know. I like it's a better name than iPad.
Okay, sure.
All right,
Let's
so
go with that.
guys, it's summer, and of course, if you own an Xbox 360, that means that Summer of Arcade is happening. Today we've got a full release lineup as well as price points for Microsoft's annual celebration of downloadable games and not going outside because it's friggin' hot out and I'm tired. First, the much anticipated release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD is coming out. This is a complete HD overhaul of the grandpappy of modern skating games. This combines levels from Pro Skater 1 and 2 and is running on an all-new engine. I got to check this out at GDC, and it's really, really nice. Like they're making the thing that people want. It's even got Goldfinger's Superman on the soundtrack. That is dropping July 18th for 1,200 Microsoft points. The week after that, we get Racketeer, which Microsoft showed off at their E3 press conference, and it looks sort of like 3D Angry Birds for Kinect. And in spite of sounding like the worst thing ever, it could be fun. We'll have to wait and see. That is out July 25th for 800 Microsoft points. Next, there's Deadlight, which is my most anticipated game of the summer. That is the survival horror puzzle platformer about zombies that looks like a cross between Limbo and Shadow Complex.
Oh, looks so cool.
Except with zombies. Give me that now, please. I don't know if it's my most anticipated game of the summer or the most anticipated game of Summer of Arcade.
Oh, yeah. Well, definitely that.
I don't even remember what's coming out this summer. Anyway, that's coming out August 1st for 1,200 Microsoft points. Now, August 8th is the release for Fifth Cell's Hybrid. That's the studio Fifth Cell. The game is just called Hybrid. This is a 3-on-3, online-only, cover-based shooter, which sounds like a big old yawn stravaganza, except for one major twist. Everyone's flying around on jetpacks, which is a cool idea. That's gotten some pretty good early buzz for that. So that's August 8th for 1,200 Microsoft points. And finally, there is Dust, an Elysian Tale, which was the winner of the 2009 Dream Build Play Contest, which means that it's basically made by one guy. It's a 2D action RPG with some really, really gorgeous hand-drawn and hand-painted visuals. It's kind of got like a Don Bluth sort of furry vibe to it. A lot of little anthro cat people and the fox people fighting stuff with magic. Not really my style visually, but it definitely looks good. And that's 1,200 Microsoft points out on August 15th. If you grab any 3 of these games together, or just if you get 3 of them, you get 400 Microsoft points back. So it's basically like, I mean, you pretty much have to buy 3 of them, because otherwise you're making money.
Otherwise you lose $5, and then your life just sucks.
It's like they're paying you $5 to like games, so just do that, I guess. I don't know.
Do it.
I like Summer of Arcade. It's fun.
I do. It's always kind of hit or miss, though. It's always there's always a list of games there that you think are going to be really great, and then some of them just turn out to be duds.
Yeah, I hope Deadlight's good though. That looks cool.
Yeah, that does look good. All right, moving on. So as awesome and amazing as our jobs are, there are occasional times when we are forced to review very, very bad games. And I don't mean funny bad. I mean like throw your Xbox out the window and kill a family of birds bad. I've almost done that twice now.
Or like Steel Battalion. We did that once today anyway.
No.
Sorry.
So with that in mind, I think we all owe Destructoid's Chris Carter like a huge Medal of Honor. The actual medal, not the game, for reviewing Steel Battalion Heavy Armor, which came out yesterday in North America for Xbox. In his review, Chris seemed to have a lot of the same issues that I touched on in my preview a couple months ago, which you guys might have seen on our Rev3 Games channel. But yeah, most of my issues stemmed from the shoddy Kinect controls, and for a game that insists so heavily upon using them, it runs a pretty fine line between annoying and downright unplayable. Now, the actual gameplay relies on you sitting and occasionally standing up intermittently while performing a wide range of hand movements, such as these. But a lot of the times the controls just don't work at all, and they force you to recalibrate your Kinect every time you get up. Typically, issues like this wouldn't necessarily be game-breaking, but in the case of Steel Battalion, the gameplay requires such precision that Kinect just can't keep up with it, and a lot of the time it just won't recognize your movements and you will die because of that. And then you have to restart levels all over again, and it's terrible. And adding insult to injury, Chris says that most of the game's problems could have been solved with just a few voice commands and a simple control redesign, utilizing the left analog stick button to move the player in and out of the cockpit, which is common movement you do in the game, and then using the right analog stick button to select levers and other instruments, which totally makes sense now that he said that. Unfortunately, none of those options were actually included in the game, even voice commands, which I agree would have helped out a lot in my playthrough, although I'm not sure they would have saved it anyhow. But on top of the bad controls, Chris also chastised the game for having a terrible story, unlikable and overly stereotypical characters, and a really generic art style. You guys can read his review over on Destructoid.com. He gave the game a 3 out of 10, and if you think that's bad, you should see some of the other reviews. Giant Bomb's Brad Shoemaker gave it a 2 out of 10 due to its busted control scheme, while Polygon's Justin McElroy wasn't even comfortable giving it a score because the controls kept him from finishing it. So Polygon's editors had a little huddle and decided to give the game a 1 out of 10, which is the worst review that I've seen so far, only because I don't think most outlets include a 0 out of 10 in their review. What a disappointment this was.
That sucks.
We were all so excited for it. It's
Yeah.
Steel Battalion, man. It just fucking sucks.
It's just, what if they had, maybe using the Kinect and a controller together, and now no one's going to want to do that because they went and effed it up. So now people are going to be like, oh, that didn't work for that thing, so let's not try it with anything else.
What a disappointment.
Bummer. A major bummer. So, speaking of games that don't suck, hopefully everybody knows by now that Saints Row the Third is awesome, and they should have been looking forward to the Enter the Dominatrix expansion that was planned for release this September. Well, apparently that expansion's been canceled, sort of. Instead, it is being pushed back to be incorporated into, quote-unquote, the next great sequel in the Saints Row franchise. That's apparently the working title for the sequel that they're working on.
They should just call it that.
Yeah, they should. The next great sequel in the Saints Row franchise.
It's really descriptive.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, THQ's new president, Jason Rubin, commented on the matter. He said, I asked the team what it could achieve given more time, more resources, and a broader scope for the project. We believe the potential for this sequel is far greater as a full-priced, full-length, high-quality, connected experience. Probably my biggest complaint about Saints Row the Third is that it didn't really feel complete. THQ had this whole plan to sort of drip feed players additional downloadable content for the year following launch, and that sort of made me feel like I wasn't getting the whole package with the retail game. And I was really looking forward to Enter the Dominatrix, but the fact that it's being turned from an expansion into a full-blown sequel actually sounds kind of promising. So hopefully that's a good thing that has Dominatrix's.
You didn't get the full package, huh?
Yes, strap it on for the whole package.
Where's our dildo bat?
I don't know. Probably.
Who stole it?
Somebody stole our Saints
I'm
Row
gonna get to the
dildo bat.
bottom of this.
Anyway, let's
But
take a
first, a word from our sponsor. Carbonite protects your pictures and other files from a computer crash, fire, theft, accidental deletion, nuclear holocaust, pretty much everything, by automatically and continually backing up your files and keeping them secure off-site so you never have to remember to back up again. Whether you have 1, 2, maybe even several computers at your home or small office, Carbonite is simply the better backup plan. Over 1 million customers trust them to protect their files with plans starting at just $59 a year. Even better, Destructoid viewers can get a free trial at Carbonite.com with the offer code Destructoid, and you'll get 2 bonus months if you decide to buy. Again, that is Carbonite.com, and the offer code for 2 bonus months is Destructoid. Look what I found.
There it is.
It was hidden behind our set. Somebody
Where do
must
you
have
hide
used it.
something that big? Yeah.
All right, back to the show. So once every full moon or so, Max and I venture outside the bright lights of our studio, and 9 times out of 10, it's to go play video games at another place.
Yeah.
This week, Nintendo invited us to come check out a few of their Wii U games that we weren't able to get hands-on time with at E3, and we wanted to share some of our impressions for you. And before you say anything, since I know this is what you're thinking, yes, we saw Nintendo Land.
Guys,
What did you think of Nintendo Land?
survival horror is not dead.
No.
Luigi's Mansion, Haunted Mansion Adventure, or whatever the hell it's called.
So they've got a few different franchises. If you guys don't know what Nintendo Land is, it's basically a standalone game. This is not going to be like a launch thing with the Wii U. I mean, it'll be a launch title, I think, or maybe not. I'm not sure. But it's actually going to be like a separately purchased game, and it's supposed to have. It's basically a theme park where you can visit attractions for 12 of your different favorite Nintendo
and
franchises.
you got your little Mii's going around. It's like if Mario Party and Wii Sports Resort had like a baby.
Yeah.
And they do the whole asynchronous multiplayer. So like,
Not
for instance,
asymmetric.
Asymmetrical.
Asymmetric gameplay is this term that they use.
Idiosyncratic multiplayer.
Something like
Yeah,
that. So
but
we played Luigi's Mansion. So basically, I had the gamepad, and then you and 3 other people had the Wiimotes. And what I see on the gamepad is a little bit different. I'm playing as the ghost in a house, and I'm trying to basically come up behind you guys and scare you.
Yeah.
And but you can't see where I am in the game. You just have to, you know.
It's like inverse Pac-Man.
It
Like
kind of
you
is.
play as like a ghost that we're all sort of chasing, but you're trying to get us too.
Mm-hmm.
And we have flashlights, and we go around, and you're like invisible. It's a cool idea.
I actually had a little bit of fun with it.
No,
Like,
it was fun.
Of the 4 games we saw, that was probably my favorite. Honestly, maybe
but the
just
fact
'cause-
is, I mean, well, it's weird because I feel like, I mean, I guess the second screen is the only thing that allows you to do the one person playing as the ghost.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that maybe by some stretch of the imagination they could have combined like a 3DS game with the Wii or something. I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not the game. It's not the kind of game I imagine would be very fun without or with less than 5 people.
Yeah.
Like if you have 2 people, that'd be weird. I don't know. Zombie U is another game that we checked out. I saw somebody else play that at E3. I didn't actually get to go hands on it with it myself. The level that they showed us was set in front of the Buckingham Palace in London, and then later on you go into a nursery to try to find some like antibiotics for Vikram or something. Here's the interesting thing about Zombie U. If you get bit once, you die, and then you're reborn as another person, like a randomly generated name and story, background. It's kind of interesting. And it also makes use of the gamepad. You kind of use it to scan your environment.
They definitely of the things that I saw them doing with the Wiimote, not the Wiimote, the gamepad, whatever, the tablet, that thing. That was the most like uncontrived use of it, I think. It's still weird because you're using the twin sticks to control, and it felt kind of clunky. I felt like to move around. That might just have been the game. And then of course you've got this thing that lets you sort of switch between, like, you have to hit a button. It's one of the triggers, and you bring it up and you like look around with stuff at it.
You scan for items in your environment. You can use it as like your survival bag. So
yeah, it takes some getting used to. I mean, it's sort of weird. It's like playing the DS if the top screen of the DS was like 4 feet in front of you, and it was separate from the bottom screen. So
it was fun. I don't think I actually got enough hands-on time with it to be able to form.
It was all right. I mean,
judgment.
I felt like the permadeath thing was a cool idea, but I was getting frustrated with it in the time that I played it, which was for about 10 minutes. So there's that.
I think the gamepad definitely does take some getting used to control-wise. One game that we played also was New Super Mario Bros. U. This is the New Super Mario Bros. Game for the Wii U, and it's like every other New Super Mario Brothers
I don't
game.
even know if I'd go that far. This is like the worst use of the word new I've ever seen.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the Wii versions of New Super Mario Brothers. The gamepad adds like a few different elements in there. Like you had it for a while, and one of the main functions you can do with it is tap to place little platforms for other people to jump on.
You can sort of like stun enemies too, kick them out of the way.
Yeah, and they've got some new things in there. They got the flying squirrel suit, like the Yoshi balloon thing. But overall, yeah, it is a lot like the previous games.
And the fact that you've got you're putting blocks down with the thing, like that's the part that I was seeing really wasn't doing enough with it. Like I didn't feel like I was like, oh hey, I'm helping you guys out. Like I didn't feel like, Lakutu or whatever flying around dropping shit down in there.
You were actually making it harder for us at times.
I got mad and I just started putting blocks in front of you guys.
Which is like fun because you like have this rapport with the people you're playing with, but I wouldn't say it actually helps you play the game.
It was weird.
Yeah, definitely interesting. And then the last game that we played was Pikmin 3, which was
Pikmin
adorable.
3. That looks really. I'm
adorable.
kind of unfamiliar with the Pikmin games. I never got into them, but I really liked it. It's really cute,
It uses. That was probably the game that we played that uses the gamepad the least amount. I would say you really only use it for like a map, and you can move the camera around.
So tacked on. Like they were saying that you can play it with, with the Gamepad Pro or whatever, the one that looks like a normal game controller.
Oh, the classic. The Wii U,
classic, whatever. Yeah.
There's so many controller names.
The one that looks like an Xbox, but with the buttons and the sticks
Pro
switched.
Controller, yeah.
Anyway, that. They were saying you can play with that. The fact that you're using like they made me put on the wrist strap.
He was really mad about it.
I was livid. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm playing Pikmin. I'm not playing friggin' Wii Sports. Like, don't make me put on the wrist strap. And they're like, buckle up.
Safety first.
It's a Wiimote. Anyway, aside from that, Pikmin 3 looks really good. Like I really like it.
Yeah.
It's really cute. It's like if you made Lemmings fight a Zelda boss. We got the boss battle had like a big kind of centipede with crystals all over him, and you had to break the crystals.
And you got to use the rock Pikmin to like break the crystals and then send the red Pikmin over.
That's a solid game.
Yeah.
And it would be a solid game without the whole Wii U thing going on.
This is the thing. It's always so hard to get an idea of what a game is like in 10 minutes of gameplay because first of all, we're using a new console with a controller that we've never touched before, most of us. And it's just, I feel like there's more of a learning curve than there is time to play the game.
Yeah, I was skeptical about this going in, and I didn't really feel any less skeptical coming out.
Yeah.
I'm not excited for the Wii U.
None of these games enthused me. What I thought was interesting is that the actual Wii U console is this long. It's
Really?
like 14 inches long. It's the same size width-wise as a Wii, but it's literally this size, which is strange.
All right.
I don't know why, but
Sure.
I just thought that was worth noting. We've got separate videos, interviews actually, coming for most of these games. They're gonna be up on our Rev3 Games channel, so make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/Rev3Games. Max, tell them about the things that we're giving away.
Lollipops and chainsaws, oh my. Okay, yeah, we told you about this the last 2 episodes. We've got 10 lollipop chainsaw prize packs to give away, which includes some sort of normal stuff that you would get, like keychains and t-shirts, and also some weird stuff like disembodied head keychains and bloody pom-poms and an autographed photo of Juliet Starling, who is a fictional character, but it's probably autographed by the lovely Juliet Starling impersonator, Jessica Nagiri, who was at every event we've been to for the past year. Anyway, to win one of these, we need you to send in your best lollipop chainsaw knockoff title, and all you have to do is combine the name of a food item and the name of a weapon. You're taking 2 words and putting them together, so like honey bun battle axe or candy corn howitzer, and just take this word combination and email it to us at cookies@destructoid.com by this Thursday the 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and we will announce all 10 winners on Friday's show. Unfortunately, guys, this is US only, just because mailing bloody pom-poms and autographed photos of women over, national lines, it gets messy there.
It's a little dicey. And if you guys haven't already, please go follow us on Twitter. I am Tara Longest. He's Max Scoville, and together we are the D-Toid Show. We're going to be back here on Friday for our first live show together in, 3 weeks or something? It's crazy. You guys can tune in right here on youtube.com/dtoid or revision3.com/watch if for some reason your workplace blocks YouTube, huh?
Cheat codes!
Yeah, that's right, because nobody should ever work, ever. Again, that's 3:30 p.m. on Friday Pacific time. If you don't know what time that is in your time zone, go read an internet or something.
Yes.
See you guys on Friday.
It's going to be clumsy and awkward.